So, good evening, welcome everyone to my session, and this is my first IGTV video, and my topic is sugar toxicity and its impact on our health. I'm Dr. Rajni. I'm a founder of Audience Wellness. I'm a health and wellness coach. I'm very passionate to teach and guide everyone and create awareness on health based on medical and scientific research study data. And today's topic is sugar toxicity and its impact on our health. Toxic word itself, we all think it's dangerous, harmful, unsafe. Yes, sugar is really that toxic. It is even called as poison, white poison. So let's understand how. In my childhood days, sugar sweets, especially sweets, they used to prepare only on certain occasions. My grannies, they used to make only when we have family gatherings and all. It was not an everyday treat on our plates. But now it's easily accessible everywhere for everybody all the times. Almost every day it's available in the form of ice cream, sweets, chocolates and whatnot. It is also hidden in the form of hidden in packaged foods also. You can read the label information. You can find the sugar content in all packaged foods, most of the packaged foods. Yes, and why we all love eating chocolates, sweets all the time? Nobody hates that because we are so used to it, because we feel good, we feel treated when we have sweets. It's like a stress buster for most of us, because yes, scientifically, when you eat sweets, at that moment there is a hormone called dopamine that is released that helps you to feel good at that moment, and you feel a bit energetic also for that moment. So that's why most of us try to indulge in sweets when you are under stress, or to have a pleasure feeling of happiness for a short period of time, or when you have gatherings and all. So you know many addictions about alcohol addiction, smoking addiction and cocaine addiction as well. And sugar is also addictive and is as addictive as cocaine. We all should know this. And it's not my word, it's a research study says that. Sugar addiction is as addictive as cocaine. Everybody are hearing this, I know. You have to keep this in mind. That's why, and we should know whether we are addictive or not. So how do we know that we are addicted to sugar? A very important thing. How do you analyze yourself whether you are addicted to sugar or not? Few common things I can tell you. If you are feeling fatigued and tired often in a daytime, you feel like grabbing. If you feel like grabbing anything like simple carbohydrates or sugars or sweets to get energy, that is one of the symptoms of sugar addiction. And when you are emotionally low, if you feel like eating ice creams, chocolates, something like that, that is also sugar addiction. When you are dealing, if you have any irritable experience in your life, so just to mask it, if you're having sweets, if you're munching sugary foods, that is also addiction. So keep these things in mind and rule out whether you are addicted or not. Okay, and why sugar addiction is toxic to our body? We need to understand that. So I would like to say not all sugars are bad. We have natural sugars as well as table sugar. Table sugar or the regular sugar, or you can call it as granulated sugar by bakers. This sugar is highly processed sugar that is extracted from sugarcane. And the natural sugar is the sugar that is present in fruits and vegetables. Of course, that natural sugar is present along with the water and various nutrients and even pulp and fiber in those wholesome foods. So natural sugar is far better than this direct table sugar. I'm talking about the direct table sugar, which is hidden in the processed foods as well as in the sweets and savories which we consume. So let's talk about how it is damaging to our body. So When we consume sweets, it starts with mouth. And I would like to speak about oral health. I'm also a dentist by education. I would like to speak a few lines about it. Those dentists who are watching, they are all already aware of this, but still I would like to share with other viewers. See, there's a slimy layer on the tooth surface called plaque. It's like a thin food layer on which the bacteria sits and forms plaque on the tooth surface. The bacteria keep on releasing acids when it undergoes metabolism, and it attacks the sugar and releases the acids. This acid can dissolve the enamel. You know that enamel is the strongest and hardest part of the body, not the bone. Many among us think that bone is the strongest in the body. No, enamel is the strongest. So even if a dentist works to cut the enamel, he uses diamond burrs. He has to cut the enamel using diamond particles. It is that hard. It's not easy to break enamel. But still, bacteria attacks these sugary foods, releases acids, and acids can perforate enamel. That's how the bacteria enters inside our teeth, damages layer by layer, attacking our nerves. When it attacks our nerves and blood vessels only, you'll have that sensitivity and pain. Till that time, we cannot perceive it, but the caries must have already started. That's how dental caries occurs. Suppose if there too much plaque resides on our tooth surface, it even affects our gums, leading to gums bleeding, gingival bleeding, gingivitis. And the main carbonated drinks, sugar-loaded, aerated drinks are more acidic for our teeth and also loaded with sugar. Just imagine how the bacteria will be hyperactive to damage your enamel. If you have mild caries also, that also gets aggravated. So they are more dangerous than the regular direct sugar. And the food is digested, whatever. So this is how it is very damaging for dental health. And after that, whatever you eat, it gets digested in your digestive system. So in your digestive system, once digested in the gut, so that's the place where it gets absorbed. It's a large intestine where it gets absorbed into your bloodstream. This is the main core area I would like to talk about today. You all have to hear it very clearly. Gut health. Gut, it is a part of a digestive tract, large intestine, where we have a membrane inside the large intestine. Once the digested food is absorbed, it passes through a membrane and then enters our internal system, blood circulation. Here in this membrane, this powerful membrane, it contains lots of microbiome, small miniature bacteria, fungi, virus, around thousands of varieties. Most of them are beneficial and few are harmful. That flora imbalance is completely based on the diet we take and the stress levels we face. Multiple reasons are there to maintain that balance of the gut flora. Suppose if you are constantly consuming sugary foods, simply processed foods, this gut flora, I mean to say this good bacteria and the bad bacteria imbalance creates in our gut. So the good bacteria that resides in our gut attaches to the cell membrane and keeps a check on each and everything, what is to be absorbed, what not to be absorbed. It is not just sugar. There are many toxins in our food also that try to enter our body. So there it will be like a security check, serious security check. It will not permit toxins, it will not permit any harmful substances inside our body. Suppose if we consume high sugary foods or highly processed carbohydrates, that creates imbalance in this bacteria. So good bacteria level reduces and the bad bacteria level increases. So what happens when good bacteria level decreases? The permeability of the cell, of this layer, the power of security also weakens. It cannot check very well like before. what to permit inside, what not to permit. So this way few toxins and bacteria also enters your internal system through blood circulation. This is called leaky gut. This is the reason of multiple chronic diseases. So what happens when the toxins and different bacteria, all unwanted things, gets absorbed in different zones of this membrane? The body is under attack. The body recognizes that I'm under attack. So immunity triggers to the extreme, and that's how the inflammation is created. Inflammation, systemic inflammation. Inflammation inside the body is a consequence when the immunity gets triggered. Inflammation is the root cause of all the diseases in the body. If the inflammation persists so long, immunity gets disturbed so well, I mean to say it gets triggered often, it gets so confused, the immune system gets stressed and starts attacking our own body system. This is called autoimmune disorder. So it may attack joints, that results in arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. It may attack our own intestine in the form of, you call it as irritable bowel syndrome. And if it attacks skin, it causes psoriasis. If it attacks the thyroid gland, it is Hashimoto's thyroiditis, something like that. Even if it attacks nerves, it is multiple sclerosis. All these are autoimmune disorders. This is one type of damage to the body when there is imbalance in the gut bacteria due to high intake of sugary foods or highly processed foods which are rich in simple carbohydrates. One more thing I need to tell you. This is the way of getting autoimmune disorders. I'm going to tell you again about the flora. If there is imbalance, there is lot of neurons complexity, like nerves complexity in the gut, and we call it as second brain of human. So gut sends signals to our brain and it increases the cravings to have more sugar if there is more bad bacteria, because bad bacteria wants sugar, wants to consume sugar. So that's how it sends signals to our brain to consume more sugar, that creates cravings in our brain. See how intelligently the bacteria is playing the role. And one more thing, this bad bacteria also, whatever minimum nutrients you get through your diet, especially B12 and other vitamins and minerals, even this bad bacteria loves such nutrients, starts consuming those nutrients also from the digested food. It will not give you proper nourishment for your body, tries to consume everything at that level. So you will go into nutrient deficient mode. This is one thing, and the second, nutrient deficiency mode, and the second thing is autoimmune disorders. And thirdly, okay, everything is happened like this, and then the digested food in your blood is rich in energy because of overloaded sugar, rich in glucose, high in blood sugar. So the excess blood sugar triggers pancreas again to release insulin. So when insulin is released, the excess sugar is taken by the cells and muscles to store the excess sugar, either in the form of glucose or glycogen or in the form of fat. Suppose if the pancreas does not react, what happens? Insulin is not released properly. Pancreas gets irritated at certain stage. How often I have to release insulin all the time? I can't do this. So it slows down. And also, even if it releases insulin on time, the glucose uptake by the cells reduces, because cells are already overloaded with lot of glucose which was not consumed by the organs, which is not utilized by the body. Just imagine, if you are eating heavily than usual, what is your condition? What is your state of mind? What is your body condition? You feel so sluggish, you feel like sleeping. So that is the condition of the cells if they are overloaded with glucose. So cells, inside every cell there are many metabolic functions. Thousands of metabolic functions occur every second. Suppose if the cell's activity becomes sluggish, even the organ function also become sluggish. It will have its impact on the entire body. That's how the entire body slows down. We feel that sluggish feeling. We feel like having tea. We feel like, no, I can't do this now. I feel like sleepy. So we develop such lazy habits. So at cellular level, the metabolism slows down. This is called slow metabolism. So if there is slow metabolism persistently in your body on long run, this results in metabolic disorders. I will name few things. Especially in women, it causes polycystic ovaries. It is associated with multiple symptoms. Anyone suffering from polycystic, they must be knowing how they are suffering. And the other thing is thyroid issues, hypothyroidism. Those who have thyroid imbalances, thyroid hormone imbalance, because thyroid hormones also maintains your metabolism. If there is imbalance, if there is slowdown in your metabolism, again thyroid hormones are also imbalanced. That's how people are prone to get hypothyroidism, and certain times hyperthyroidism as well. And autoimmune disorders, Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And it also affects various vital organ functions, liver function, kidney function, even heart function, even the brain function. The alertness and the concentration power and the way you deal, the way you get ideas, creativity, everything slows down. So it's going to affect each and every part of the body. And for skin, when there is slow metabolism, skin becomes dry. And that aggravates, you get itchiness in the scalp, and hair loss, dry nails. So entire beauty is affected. So when the metabolism slows down, even hair becomes brittle, dry. So if this continues on long run, if the excess sugar is not utilized by the cells, and even if pancreas says, I can't deal this, Baba, I'm not going to release insulin anymore, I can't do this. So sometimes it releases well, sometimes it may not. This is called insulin resistance. When that stage occurs, all the diseases pops up, like diabetes. Then it may even lead to uncontrolled diabetes. So if the uncontrolled diabetes is, even if you take medication, the blood sugar levels will not be maintained properly. And this excess sugar that keeps circulating inside the blood vessels may damage the endothelial lining of the blood vessels. When endothelial lining of blood vessel damages, blood circulation to all the vital organs also get affected. We don't know which organ will affected more. And so based on that, those organs dysfunctions will be erupted. And so we have to be very careful. It is not a single day process. It is not that I ate chocolate today, tomorrow I'll get diabetes. No. Today my diabetes is diagnosed means all these processes are occurring inside my body since many years. This is common with everybody. So what I say, it is not just to avoid sugar. It is not like what to eat right. You also should know what to eliminate from your diet. Whatever I am discussing today is only one part, only one thing that has to be eliminated. It is not just sugar only that damages your body. There are multiple things, even excess salt intake as well, and poor fat. This is a huge topic which has to be discussed in a split way. And today the topic is sugar. So how to deal with this? I suggest you to consume more natural foods. Sugar in the form of natural wholesome foods like fruits, vegetables. Implement exercise on daily basis. Take professional guidance on all these aspects. Try to balance your sleep patterns as well as try to have early dinners, and you should also find a way to deal with your stress. There are many multiple ways to deal with stress, like meditation and hobbies, involving in your own hobbies, creative things. Keep away your mobile for a certain period of time in a day. Stay away from your mobile. Try to spend your time, me time. Spend time with your own self, with your own self. See the difference. So Thank you, and hope you all understood what happens inside the body when you consume sugar on everyday basis.